of the women's singles here at the ITTF Pro Tour Grand Finals. Leading the way out in the green shirt, the world champion, the winner of the recent World Cup, the #1 player in the world, Ning. And her opponent in the final, also from China, playing in the yellow shirt, there she is, Shiwen, 20 years of age. They enter the arena. They'll be introduced to the crowd by the MC, Johnny Coward. Formalities complete. Players have been introduced to the crowd, hands have been shaken, and the players now return to their coachless corners. All China coaches will be sat relaxing in the stadium, knowing it's a job well done. All China final. There she is. What a season she's had. It started in Sheffield when she won the ITTF Pro Tour event. And then she's gone on to win the World Singles title in Rotterdam, and then the World Cup in Singapore. What a season it would be if she could add the ITTF Pro Tour Grand Final title to that amazing list of titles. There she is with that famous video camera. It follows her everywhere. David Edwards from England in charge of this final. An umpire with an excellent reputation. Ning making her way out to the table. Liu Shiwen in the yellow shirt awaits her arrival. Liu Shiwen, #5 in the world, has been as high as #1. She was a semi-finalist in the World Championships in 2011, and indeed a semi-finalist in 2009. Winner of the World Cup in 2009, and she's been around for some time. Despite the young age of 20, she was the runner-up in the World Junior Singles in 2004. She's won 5 Pro Tour titles, one this season, as you can see there on screen. She won in Qatar in February of this year. She also won in Kuwait in 2010, China 2009, China Harmony 2009, Denmark 2009. But there we have Ning, as well as being the world champion, World Cup champion. She won the Asian Championships 2 years ago, and at the World Junior Championships back in 2005, she won 3 gold medals. Girls singles, girls doubles, and the girls team. The only player in the history of the game to win the Junior World Championships and the Senior World Championships. So what a final to look forward to. They've met 11 times in recent history, and it's actually 7-4 in favour, would you believe, of Liu Shiwen. The last time they met, about a month ago, in the semi-final of the Swedish Open, Liu Shiwen won 4-2. But the big match this year was the semi-final of the World Championships in Rotterdam, and Ning won. So what a final to look forward to, and it's Liu Shiwen who wins the first point. Best of 7 games.
Love 2.
First point for Ning. Ning, of course, had a fairly comfortable victory against Li Xiaojia in the semi-final. 4-1, having beat Kasumi Ishikawa 4-0. And Joanna Parker from England, 4-0.
Let's 2.
Liu Shiwen beat Wang Yuegu from Singapore in the semi-final. Go Yue, the former world champion from China, her teammate, beat her 4-2. And in the last 16, she beat Sayaki Hirano from Japan. Three points each. Spraying the ball around the table with the forehand. The first one was out wide to Liu Shiwen's forehand. The second one wide to the backhand. Ding Ning leads 4-3.
3-5.
Ding Ning playing into the body of Liu Shiwen. She wasn't sure whether to play backhand or forehand. She ended up playing the backhand from quite a way over on the forehand side. But that was a good angle from Liu Shiwen. A little bit of extra elbow wrist into the shot, so the ball goes quicker out wide to Ding Ning's forehand. Ding Ning, of course, the left-hander. Liu Shiwen, the right-handed player. And here's Liu Shiwen with her second serve. Halfway stage of the first game, 5 points each. Interesting to see Liu Shiwen come across the table to return a short serve to the forehand side with her backhand. But she's straight into the rally, consistent forehand topspins, fairly compact, good technique. Very rarely makes errors.
7-5.
Two points against the serve for Liu Shiwen. She now has her two serves to come. A 3-point run for Liu Shiwen. Can she keep it going? Indeed she can. She's holding her ground, she's staying close to the table, she's forcing Ding Ning away. She seems to have the answers when Ding Ning gets in with strong topspin. She seems to read the direction well. And you can certainly see why the stats favour Liu Shiwen 7-4. Problem with the ball, it's been replaced by an alternative. Players just have a few hits. Just check it's okay, which clearly it is. 5-9. And that's a good backhand topspin. Liu Shiwen apologising, I'm not sure for what. Maybe it just caught the top of the net, but it's 5 game points now for the Liu Shiwen.
11-5.
First game for Liu Shiwen. 11 points to 5. And there she is. She goes to the corner, happy that she's won the first game and leads by 1-0. So Ning first back at the table, followed very closely by Liu Shiwen.
Second game, being a China to serve, love all.
What a rally. And again, it's Liu Shiwen who stays up to the table, spraying the ball around the table, forcing Ning to cover long areas, wide on both wings.
Two love.
That's a good start by Liu Shiwen. China, of course, the dominant force at the moment in women's world table tennis. Obviously, there are a lot of players in China. It's a vast population, but it's worth noting that there are some brave decisions made by the coaches. Shi Hao, who's sat in the crowd watching this final, will be reflecting on the fact that in 2010, he dropped two of the senior players in the final of the World Team Championships against Singapore. Brought in two youngsters. The team lost. He was criticised. He nearly lost his job. But then these two youngsters, who happen to be Ning and Liu Shiwen, pay him back in aces, because here they are, two of the best players, if not the two best players in the world. So that's brave captaincy, brave selections by the Chinese coaches, in particular Shi Hao. And who would back against these two to make the final in 8 months' time here at Excel at the Olympic Games? Be a brave man to do so. And Liu Shiwen is on fire here. The world champion going for the hat-trick. The 3 big titles on the calendar this year. The World Championship would have to rate at #1. And the World Cup and the ITTF Pro Tour Grand Finals right up there at #2. She's got 2 of them in the bag.
6-1.
But this Liu Shiwen is standing between her and that elusive 3rd title.
Two, 6.
Liu Shiwen has the ability to anticipate the direction in which Ning's going to topspin. They probably practice together hours and hours every week, and there'll be a degree of familiarity, that's for sure. But nevertheless, what a performance so far by Liu Shiwen, only 20 years of age, and she's spraying the ball around the table with perfection. The #5 ranked player. She has been #1, of course, Liu Shiwen. She's just slipped down a little bit, but when you see play like that, you can imagine that that will only be temporary. Liu Shiwen with her 2 serves.
One, 2.
Don't often see Ning shaking her head, probably wondering what she has to do here. Liu Shiwen, just a little bit too good on the day so far. 7 game points for a 2-0 lead. There it is at the first time of asking. Liu Shiwen takes the second game, 11 points to 3. And who would have thought that the 20-year-old playing in the yellow shirt, Liu Shiwen, would be leading by 2 games to 0. She'll be delighted as she goes back to her corner, but she knows she's only done half the job. She needs another 2 games. And so the players back out at the table. Once again, it's Ning first back. Eager to get going, although I bet she's had some serious thoughts in between the second and the third game, because so far she's been well beaten. She lost 11-5, 11-3. Who could have predicted that for the world champion? Liu Shiwen to serve at the start of the third game.
1-0. All.
Replays the shot, a little bit of shadow play, nods when she gets it right, clearly a deep thinker. Liu Shiwen, 1 point each. Forehand topspin down the line from Liu Shiwen, just hit a little bit too hard, went off the end of the table. Ning now with her 1 point lead. That was heavy backspin on the service there, very loose grip, fast accelerating racket underneath the ball, heavy backspin. Liu Shiwen putting the ball in the net, not lifting the spin sufficiently. However, Liu Shiwen now with her 2 serves. Ning just beginning to get a little bit of momentum going here. It's a good backhand topspin, deep and wide to the forehand of Liu Shiwen. Certainly, Liu Shiwen just that little bit quicker in the rallies. Forces Ning to back away from the table, so she creates a little bit more time. But of course, by backing away, the angles to be covered are a little bit greater.
3. 4.
Ning there trying to return the net cord very tight over the net. She almost did it. Not quite. But she knew it wasn't good enough just to simply return it, because Liu Shiwen would have pounced on the opportunity. She had to return it very tight over the net. What a point. And in the end, it was a net cord to win it. It looked as though the point would go on forever. Of course, when the ball hits the net, it's very difficult to predict how it's affected the spin. Sometimes it appears to add to the spin, sometimes it takes away. And the only way to read it is to look at the ball to see how much the ball's spinning. Not easy to do. Backhand topspin from Ning, caught the top edge of the racket, flew off the end of the table. And you do feel this is a must-win game for the world champion. She's up against Liu Shiwen, who is in fine form to go 3-0 down. Could be one step too far. Fantastic point. Crowd absolutely loving it, and so they should. Ning now top spinning into the body of Liu Shiwen. It's paid dividends. She's won the last 2 points, but it's Liu Shiwen now with her 2 serves. The backhand block down the line into the net. And Ning now has opened a 3-point lead in this 3rd game. She does need to win this.
Next, 5-8. Next, 5-8.
The forehand topspin from Liu just caught the top of the net. She just acknowledges her good fortune. The first one she lifts over. This is the one. And there's the little signal. It was only the faintest of touches, but it was enough to distract Ning.
8-7.
8-5 down, 2 points for Liu Shiwen. 8-7, and not surprising, Ning calls timeout. She can't afford Liu Shiwen to increase this run of points. Best way to break the momentum, albeit she's only just established the run of points. It's a good way to force Liu Shiwen to pause. Ning obviously aware that she needs to win this game. 3-0 down is very, very difficult to come back against. However, Liu Shiwen there in deep thought. She clearly thinks a lot about the game. She listens ever so carefully to the coaches when she's giving advice. Having said that, so does Ning as well. 2 great ambassadors for China, 2 great ambassadors for the sport of table tennis. And the crowd certainly enjoying some wonderful table tennis here at Excel in London. Of course, this will be the venue for the Olympic Games in 2012, so a great opportunity for the players to get a feel for the place. That's just what Ning needed, the first point after the timeout. It's always a big point psychologically. Liu Shiwen now needs to take 2 points with the serves. Ning will be disappointed there. She got a great angle out wide to Liu Shiwen's forehand. But then she just mistimed her forehand topspin. It caught the top edge of the racket. Flew off the end of the table. 8-9. The pocket rocket, Liu Shiwen gets in with a very strong forehand topspin. Well placed, of course, into the body of Ning. 9 points each. And heavy backspin on the return. And she's turned this around, 9-7 down, 3 consecutive points. Game point now. There's the heavy backspin on the push return. Topspin into the net from Ning. And this is definitely a pivotal point. A win here will be crucial for LIU Shiwen, and she's done it, and she knows it. You can see the clenched fist. She knows that was a big point. She now leads by 3-0, and who would have thought the number 5 ranked player would be beating the world champion, the world number 1, by 3-0, but there it is, it's confirmed on screen. LIU Shiwen leads by 3-0. And so the players back at the table. It's the 4th game. LIU Shiwen leaves by 3-0. Who'd have thought the world champion would find herself 3-0 down? She'll need to demonstrate mental toughness of the highest order. Will Ning. But I wouldn't put it past her. But of course, she's up against LIU Shiwen, the pocket rocket, who's in fine form. Just a little bit too soft there, the blocking from LIU Shiwen. Ning was able to get a little bit more power into that forehand topspin. That's the one there, just a little bit too soft, mid-table as well. And of course, Ning just able to get that little bit of extra power. 1 point each, LIU Shiwen with 2 serves. Oh, super play from LIU. That forehand topspin down the line was exceptional. This is the one coming now to the backhand, and then she goes straight down the line. There it goes. Excellent play. Just overhitting the forehand topspin. And it's two points each.
3-2.
Clever serve from LIU. Into the body. Ning had to play up, and straight away LIU Shiwen takes the initiative, wins the point with the topspin.
5-3.
What a point! Both players outstanding, spraying the ball around the table. A pleasure to watch. And again, Shiwen spraying the ball around the table. Ning shakes her head. She knows she's in a battle. And that's an understatement. 3-0 down. 5 points each at the halfway stage in the fourth game. What a shot. Generated an enormous amount of power. Fast accelerating on shoulder, elbow, wrist. Twist the upper body. Perfect coordination of all those movements, and the ball goes like a rocket. 6-5 for LIU Shiwen. Top edge of the LIU Shiwen racket flies off the end of the table. 6 points each. Ning now with her 2 serves.
Next, 6-2. Seven-6.
Ning showing the mental toughness of a world champion here. She's 3-0 down. It'd be so easy to say, well, it's not my day. It's not working out for me. But that's the last thing Ning's doing. She's digging deep. She's doing everything she can to keep in this final. And she's now clawed her way back. She leads 8-6. Fantastic point. And what a gutsy player we're seeing here. Again, it's one of the trademarks of a true world champion. Mental toughness. And that's what we're seeing here in aces from Ning. What a forehand topspin from LIU Shiwen. Almost hit that ball before it bounced. Fantastic play. This is the one coming up now. There it goes. Absolutely no way that one's coming back. So LIU Shiwen, can she take 2 points against the Ning serve? She's taken one. Excellent placement. I think that may have been a thick edge. The ball deviated slightly. She indicates with her finger that she apologises. But even so, just a slight edge, but it's right on the white line. Just deviated ever so slightly. Ning now with her second serve. And Ning will be disappointed there. The return was a little bit high. It was close to the net. It had got a lot of backspin. But LIU Shiwen 2 out of 2 off the Ning serve, and now LIU Shiwen has the advantage at the business end of this fourth game to have her 2 serves to come. Three games to 0 up, 9 points each. What a shot down the line. This is fantastic table tennis. Seven down, 3 points on the run. LIU Shiwen now with a championship point. What a performance by the 20-year-old. The world champion faces championship point. And she's done it! LIU Shiwen, she's delighted, and so she should be. She wins the 4th game. 11-9, she came back from 9-7 down, but the pocket rocket, the number 5 ranked player in the world, 20 years of age, she's delighted. She takes her applause from the crowd. She deserves every single one of them. She can't help but smile. Superb performance, 11-5, 11-3, 11-9, 11-9. She's overcome by emotion. It's a big title, and who knows, she'll be back here in 8-9 months' time for the Olympic Games, and if she can play to that level, she's definitely capable of lifting the gold medal. She's just beaten the world champion. She's just produced an amazing performance, and I'm sure that video camera will be analysed to the nth degree by this great world champion, a thorough professional. So there she is, the winner of the women's singles at the 2011 ITTF Pro Tour Grand Finals from China. It's LIU Shiwen.